Welcome to PeopleTools Tech Tips. I'm Randy Gronke. Let's build a PDF template for BI Publisher. So what is a PDF template for BI Publisher? Well, as opposed to an RTF document or an Excel spreadsheet, we use an existing PDF to put data on top of to produce our BI Publisher report. Which brings us to the next question, why use a PDF template rather than an RTF or an Excel? Well, the best reason to use a PDF template is because this is a document, this is a report that's required by either a government agency or the business or the industry or something where we really don't have control over the format of the report. That's given to us as in an official government document. We don't have the ability to change that report that makes it better fit our business needs. So the best way to go about it is not to convert that PDF into an RTF and recreate it, but use the PDF we got from the source and put our data from our PeopleSoft implementation into that PDF for the final report. Now, there are some basics to building a PDF template for BI Publisher. The first thing we should do is build our XML file and build a good, competent XML file because we'll need that before we start creating that template for BI Publisher. The next thing we need to do is take our actual PDF report, that PDF file, and reduce it and change it and get all that security and JavaScript and extra things out of it and into a smaller optimized version of Adobe version 5 or less to make it compatible with BI Publisher. And finally, we need to create some kind of testing facility so we can incrementally test our report as we build it to make sure we're going in the right direction. A few things you need before you start creating PDF templates for BI Publisher. First off, you need a current licensed version of Adobe Acrobat Pro. You can't do this with the regular Acrobat, and I have not yet found another software package that allows us to do all the things we need to do to create a PDF template for BI Publisher. The next thing is we need some way to test it in increment as we're building it and then afterwards. We're going to show you testing it within the PeopleSoft application, but you can also test it within BI Publisher's tools. A quick note about how PDF templates work as opposed to RTF and Excel templates. RTF and Excel templates take the data from the XML file and insert that data into the template of the report, and that data has the ability to manipulate the layout of the report as far as size and placement. That's not so with a PDF template. A PDF template is a fixed object and all the data is put on top of the report. The data is a layer on top of the report, not in the report, and the data has no ability to change the actual PDF base layer itself. This can lead to some uncomfortable conversations with our users that want to put a very large text area into a very small text box. We can reduce the font so much, but at some point, the data just runs off and either overlaps a report depending on the way we lay out our box, or is just cut off. As always, all the objects used in this demo are available out on PeopleToolsTechTips.com and also our GitHub site, PeopleTools Tech Tips. This is the US OPM 71 request for leave or approved absence. We're going to use this for our demo today. Why? Because this has all the fields we want to cover. Text boxes, check boxes, date fields, numeric fields, and scrolling down here we have a long text field. BI Publisher can't work with embedded JavaScript, security, and other advanced PDF template features like signature blocks and print controls. So we need to strip all that out. The fastest way to strip out all that is just to print to PDF using a PDF printer driver. Click File in the top menu, then Print, then choose the PDF driver. I'll use the Adobe PDF driver. Print, choose your location file name. I call it OPM71 printed, and save. This is our new document with all those advanced features stripped out. Now that we have all the JavaScript and other advanced features stripped out of the PDF, we need to minimize to Adobe version 5 or PDF version 1.4. Here's how you do that in Adobe Acrobat Pro version 2022. This is a little bit different from the BI Publisher instructions on Oracle Docs. Those instructions are for older versions of Adobe Pro. File, Save As, choose your target location. The magic happens when you change the Save As type to Optmize. That enables the Settings push button right below it. Click the Settings button. This brings up the PDF Optimizer dialog box. Change the value in the Make Compatible with dropdown to Adobe 5.0 and later. Click OK. Change the file name so we know this is the optimized version. And click Save. Now we have our optimized, reduced size PDF template compatible with BI Publisher. Now that the PDF is optimized, let's clean it up. Click on Edit, then scroll down to the bottom and remove the push buttons to print and clear form. These are not part of the official document. Once we have removed the buttons, go to the Form tool. Click on Tools menu at the top, and then choose Prepare Form tool. It has our document here, so click Start. Let's save changes before preparing the form. We'll call this V1 for version 1. Acrobat Pro will review the form and try to pick out the fields for our form. It does a good job, but we always have to review it. I see here it missed the hours field, and we'll need that later. It usually finds more fields than we need. I always work through the form and remove any field that I will not be mapping to the XML file. We're only going to work with these employee fields at the top, these 3 checkboxes on the left, the top from and to date fields, and the remarks field. Everything else I want to remove. The easiest way to remove several at a time is just highlight the fields and then press the delete key. I'll do the rest of this form quick with the help of Movie Magic. So now we have only the fields that will map to our XML data with BI Publisher. Let's save this much as version 2. Now we need to generate data and create a sample XML file for our BI Publisher report. I created this quick little component to generate the data for this demo. Basic info such as employee ID, name, and company. Then we have some checkboxes as to what kind of leave they are requesting, the to and from dates of the leave, the number of hours requested, and a long field to type in a lot of characters to populate the remarks long text field on the report. Here are different examples of our long text data. We have one that is maxed out on characters, one that is about half full, and another that is fairly short. Our View XML button generates the XML file from the data on the page using the row set method. Here's our XML file generated from the page. This will be our sample XML file to build our PDF template. It's very simple. It has all 3 rows with all the data we entered on the page. What's important is our XML tag names. This is what we will use to map the XML file to the PDF template. The next part of our build is to create a BIP data source and BIP report definition so we can incrementally test our PDF template as we build it. Here's the data source I created with my sample XML file. Click on the link and we see our sample file we just created. Next is our BIP report definition created with our data source. This will be used for testing and most likely our production object. Remember to have it active. Make sure the template type is PDF. On the template tab, we want our basic information for the PDF template. Put in a date that is far enough back so it doesn't get in the way. Then we want to upload a PDF template just to hold this definition. We can't save without at least one template attached. Upload our current version of the template knowing that it's not mapped. It's just a placeholder. Click Preview and we'll see the empty OPM71 report in our version 2 file. Save that. And now we have a tool to test our templates as we build them. Here's our PDF template and we are in the Prepare Form tool. Let's map our first field from our XML file, name. You see the name field on top. Your fields are also listed on the right tool panel. Let's look at the sample XML file and find the XML tag name to map. I'm going to select the FLD under name tag and copy it to the clipboard. On the PDF form, double-click on the name text box. On the General tab, paste the XML tag name into the name box. Replace anything that is there. So this is the exact same value as our XML tag. On the Appearance tab, we can control the font size and color. This Position tab is something I rarely work on. On the Options tab, we can see the text will be left aligned. Other options are center and right. I'm going to turn off check spelling and scroll long text. I don't want my name field scrolling. Close the text field properties box. and we see the field is now named the same as our XML tag. Let's save this much as version 3. For a quick incremental test of the template, go back to the BIP report definition in PeopleSoft, add a new effective date, and upload our version 3 template. After it's uploaded, click on the preview button to see if our mapping was successful, and we see the employee's name at the top of the report. Each employee's name is on a different page. This looks good. Now we want to add the ID to box number 2 on the PDF template, but we have a problem. We don't have a text box on the employee ID box. We'll add a new text box to the report in the employee ID box. Click on the text box control at the top and drop the field in this box. We want to map the employee ID field to this box. Let's go back to the XML file. Here is the field employee ID tag. Copy the tag name to the clipboard and paste it to the field name box on our new field. Click on the All Properties to bring up the text box properties box. This is exactly the same as our other text box now. Set the options. See the field name is the same as the XML tag name on the General tab. On the Appearance tab, we see that the font size defaulted to 12 instead of auto. I'll change that back to auto. Click the Close button when you're ready. Save this as version 4. And go back and test the template through our BIP report definition again. And here is our name and employee ID on a report. I'll map the company name to the organization field off screen, the same way we did with the name field. Next up is checkboxes. Let's move on to checkboxes, which work a little differently than text fields. I'm going to map accrued annual leave checkbox to this XML tag field under X, under leave, under ACR. So copy that XML tag to the clipboard. Back in our PDF template, I'm going to double click on the target checkbox control to bring up the checkbox properties dialog box. Paste the XML tag to the name field in the first tab. This maps the XML tag to this checkbox. Then move on to the Options tab where the checkbox work gets done. First, set the checkbox style in the top dropdown. The PDF template has 6 different style options to choose from. The Export Value box controls if the checkbox is checked or not at runtime. If the value of that map field matches the value in this box, the box will be checked. Otherwise, it will not be checked. Our field in PeopleSoft is defined as a yes/no in the record definition. So the value I'm looking for here is a Y for the checkbox to be checked. It doesn't have to be a yes/no value, just that the value in the field has to match whatever you type here. If you didn't already have a checkbox control here, you can add a new checkbox control using the new checkbox tool at the top. Click this and drag the new checkbox down to here. Find the XML tag to map the checkbox control name. Then click the All Properties link to open the checkbox property dialog box. Set the check style, and just to show you what happens, we'll leave the export value equal to the word yes instead of the capital Y. Close the dialog box. Let's correctly size the checkbox over the existing PDF form graphic. I like to zoom in for better control when sizing checkboxes. It's easier to see and size the control to the template. I'll do the last checkbox quickly, the same as the first. We have our 3 checkboxes now. Save this as version 5 and test the template again. We see that the advanced and accrued checkboxes work, but not the restored checkbox. Go back to the restored checkbox control on the options, and we see that the incorrect export value mapping broke the checkbox. Set that to the correct value that will appear in the XML file. Y. Save and retest. And now we can see that all the checkboxes work. Let's add some date fields to the PDF template. There are a from and to date fields on our template. Here's the XML tag we are going to map to the from date, field from date. Double-click on the date field to bring up the properties box. Notice that this is a text field properties box. PDF templates treat date fields as a text field with a different format. Paste the XML tag name in the name field box. The appearance and position tabs are the same. On the options, remove the spelling and scrolling. On the Format tab, change the format category to date. That opens a section below allowing us to display the date in the format we want. Example of the current format is at the bottom of the box.
We're going to use the format with a 4-digit year. Now let's do the other date field the same way, mapping it to the field through date XML tag. Let's save that as version 6 and test the template. We can see that our from and to dates are populated with the date values from the XML file. A number field is just a text box with a format type as a number. Let's map the hours to the total hours box on our PDF template. Click on the text box control at the top of the page to add a new text box to the template. Drag it to the total hours box and resize it to fit. Back to our XML file, we see the XML tag name of our field is FLG under total under EE under hours. Copy that to the clipboard. Double-click on our new field and bring up the text properties dialog box. On the General tab, paste the XML tag name to the name field. On the Options tab, remove the check spelling and the scroll long text options. On the Format tab, change the Format category dropdown to Number. That opens a new section in the middle of the page so we can format the number display. We only want 1 decimal place. We want the separators and no currency symbol. We see an example of how the number will look at the bottom. Close the dialog box, save this as version 7, and test the template. Upload and preview. We see leave hours requested in the totals field, 8 hours, 160 hours, and 40 hours. Let's map our long text to the remarks section in the middle of the page. In the example, this is the reason the employee is requesting leave. We want this box to show as much text as possible. We want to wrap long fields into multiple lines to fill up the box. Let's look at the data in the XML file we have to fit in this box. We have a very long string here. We have a medium long string here. And we have a short string here, all in the field under HP remarks field. Copy the XML tag name to the clipboard. Double-click on our control to display the properties dialog box. Like the date and number, the long text field is just a PDF text box control. Paste the XML tag in the name field on the first tab. On the Appearance tab, the font size of Auto is our first good choice. The PDF template will manipulate the font size to a point to fit the text in the box. Even so, if the field is still too big, it'll be just cut off by the box size limits. Change the Options tab. We want to check multi-line and scroll long text boxes and the line left. Multi-line and scroll are the fields that make this a long text field. On the Format tab, the category should be None. This is still a text field. Close the dialog box. Save this template as version 8. And test the template. Upload and preview. We see our very long text fit into the remarks box. Here is the moderately long text string in the remarks box. And finally, how our relatively short string appears in this long text field. Let's finish this off by adding our completed template to our BIP report definition. Find the report definition we've been working with, the OPM 71 report. Make sure the report status is active. Click on the Template tab. Add a new effective date row to our template. Add a date, 1/1/2022. Change the status to active. Upload our latest template, which is version 8. You see on the Output tab that the only output option for a PDF template is a PDF. On the Properties tab, change to PeopleTools settings. Set the PSXP under Use Default Out Destination equal True if you ever need to access this completed report with PeopleCode. You also have the option to set several PDF properties. Then save. Now let's see this report in our application. Back on our custom page, we have our custom data filled out. Pretend this is where the employees are filling out their leave requests and they all want the data to appear on OPM 71 so they can submit it. Click the Print Report button. And here's our official OPM 71 PDF government form populated with the employees' data.
You see, creating a PDF template for BI Publisher is pretty straightforward and simple. Now you have the tools to explore and create PDF templates to satisfy the business needs of your users in your implementations. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing to our channel, and we'll see you next time here on PeopleTools Tech Tips.